run live. Live. Turn on the YouTube live. All right, SMT. I'm just gonna start. Actually, I'm not gonna wait for people to get in the live. Actually, I'm just gonna start. Next New York session. Go to next New York session. Alrighty, we're here, and let's mark out 10 o'clock on both. Let's see what we get. And play. All right, we are kind of bearish, but then we are looking like we're kind of bullish. We do have some SMT on this candle, which is the, actually we don't, I mean this is SMT, but I don't know if this is not enough for me, honestly. And we have some gaps we look like we're pulling into. This could also be SMT on the upside, is what it's giving. We came up higher on ES into this gap, but I don't know, let's just play it out. Also, you know what I've started doing and adding to my strategy now to help a little better? Obviously it sucks sometimes, you'll get worse entries, but I wait for a full candle close out of the gap on both sides. I know if we're confident in our bearish bias, we take a fair value gap and we have our sell order ready as soon as it taps into it. But for me, I want to come in and fully close out before I really get in the gap or close to the upside. Boom, and there it is. So then you just go on the lower time frame, and I called this SMT because this gap, sorry, I marked the wrong one. This NQ never tapped into this second gap here. ES did. That was the SMT. Actually, no, it did tap into it. It didn't tap in as high. Or maybe the SMT is on the 10 o'clock candle. My dotted line, it's gonna be somewhere up in here. Especially with a big push like that. Let me see. Come on, little dotted line. I'll actually just do this. Why is it not letting me move my dotted line? It's very weird. Okay, well, let's just delete. There we go. No, SMT actually. They both came up into this gap. They're both just following the leader at this point. So, like I said, bearish. Fair value gap, react off of it. You have to realize NQ and E are two different beasts, and the pairs action may be the same at times, but they differ. Yes, that's the whole point of my strategy. The difference in them both is SMT, and that's what you take your good reversals off of. So this is a day where they did actually want to go the same. They wanted to move the same. There's no difference. They both took out Asian low. So this was a day where obviously a market maker sell, which I said before I marked the SMT. I said we look pretty bearish. There's two gaps up here. We should tap into one, wait for us to push out of one. We did on both. It doesn't work that way. It actually does though, tiny right now. It literally does. I've been backtesting that all week, and that's how I trade. It happened yesterday. It happened every day this week. SMT is how you can spot reversals so easily. It happened every day last week, and every reversal created last week was SMT, just so you know. But look at them, they're identical to today. 15-minute chart. So this is the day you just would have known bearish. We tapped into this fair value gap, we reacted. Let's see what entry you could have got on the 3-minute chart, because obviously this is a 15-minute chart. So you have a nice inversion fair value gap here for your entry to the downside for the NQ people. So boom, you didn't really get a candle close to way down here, so you did get that at your own risk. On ES, the candle close was a little lower as well, so you did get on that at your own risk. But nice trades actually. So if you did have your limit order set, you're fine. But also, minus the fair value gap, once we saw them both push, we probably would have gotten on any one of these candle closes out of the gap. So it could have been this one, it could have been this one, it could have been this one. I assume probably this second one for most of us, or somewhere in this big candle going down. And that's fine. That's a perfect trade. If you had your limit order set, that's why I wait till 10 o'clock. Boom, we came into a 15-minute fair value gap. If you sit on the 15-minute chart, you'll not get faked out as much at all, and you can see these moves in real time. But yeah, it's not SMT. I thought it was, but it's not. It ain't. I'm trying to see if it's like here, but yeah, I don't really see it. But great trade. 10 o'clock in this fair value gap, a perfect continuation day. We'll see, and I'm sure there's probably going to be an SMT for it to go back up. But let's see how far they both go. And honestly, there's still barely any SMT. This technically is lower than this one, but it still didn't sweep it. It's still, this one's obviously way higher. This swing low. However, this one is still higher. It's not, it didn't sweep it. It's still higher. So today they just want to be twins. And great price action either way. So no SMT this day. Great price action. Again, this is the 15-minute chart, so you would have time to go down to the 3-minute and get in, you know, on one of these candle closes up here. You'd be fine. Let's go to the next day and see what we get. Like I said, I don't get on the chart till 10 o'clock. They are their own beasts, but they move very similarly. But again, Rhino's not he's not an ICT trader. He's been in my lives before. So, alrighty, what do we have here? That is SMT, but like I said, I'm gonna wait till 10 o'clock. Like I said, I trade 10 o'clock. So it could be a move up to just give us another move down at 10 o'clock. But this is SMT, higher, low, and then we swept. We did a little sweepy sweep. It looks like we're still very bearish though. So maybe that's a sweep of one of these internals, and then 10 o'clock we continue lower, but let's see how far it pushes. Okay, swept on both, but if you want that trade up, you could have took it. SMT confirmed we were reversing back up. And then let's see if we get SMT up here somewhere. Nope, they both swept this high. On both, still doing the same. The only SMT we got was that bottom for your buy trade. Maybe it's a keep going higher trade. Yeah, it was just a day to keep going higher. This might be finally our SMT, but because this, I wouldn't have traded that. I'm trying to see. Okay, this might be it, yeah. We finally took out the Asian low high here, but on NQ we did not yet. But honestly, NQ could follow, but this is a big ass wick to the downside. So maybe wait. Like I said, I could follow, that's why you wait. It did follow, so that was the trade. The trade was they both want to go up. But what did we get? The SMT. And I've noticed too, SMT usually pushes the trade. So yeah, we're bearish technically, but if you get SMT, the reversal on SMT is usually gonna be a nice reversal. It usually is. There are times when it's not. What kind of laptop is good for this? Honestly, a PC. I have a MacBook because I'm not buying another laptop right now. But if you are in the interest of buying one, I'd buy a really good PC because I trade Ninja Trader, which is a PC only app, and TikTok Studio, if you stream, is a what you call it, Windows only app. I do have a Parallel that I run Windows with, Um, so, I mean, it works fine. But I know when I stream sometimes, it's a little laggy. But get a PC, I suggest. So yeah, they just both want to follow. But where was our SMT? At the bottom side. And that's why sometimes I try to get on at 9:30, but I don't. I really get on like 9:45. So I probably would have got in on this candle. Because sometimes 9:30, it's like this 9:30 action is not. And I'm going back to trading ES because of the better risk, the lower risk. Even one micro ES is like $54 risk versus like $150 risk on NQ. So that's a good trade. And that's SMT. You see ES made a higher high, NQ made a lower low. That's our SMT divergence. And that's how you can spot reversals. Especially, like I said, a lot of us ICT traders, we love trading reversals only. So if you need help with the continuation, you'll usually get one, even if it's like something in here sometimes. We didn't get one today, but I mean, this is technically SMT, so we made a lower low, this long wick here, but on NQ we did not sweep the bottom of that candle, so that could have been your confirmation again. If you got in late, that could be your confirmation for an entry after this candle close. Obviously, this is a 15-minute chart. You would go down to a 3-minute. EMA 15. 15 EMA. The only one that makes sense. Just kidding. There's a bunch of them. But I think, personally, the best EMAs are like 10 to 20. 9 is too much. 9 hugs the chart too much, and you'll get a bunch of candle closes like this. For if you only trade EMAs, you'll get a bunch of these and that go against you. Like this is, I don't like these. I like my EMA to show me we stay above, and if we're still going up like this, I don't like it any candle closes underneath. Obviously this is a 15-minute chart, so it is what it is, but usually you want to keep it where it's bouncing off. But and then the other ones are too wide. So I obviously trade ICT. I don't trade based off the EMA, so it doesn't really matter to me. But if your EMA is like 100, 200, your EMA is like, it's basically like sitting in the middle like this. So if you traded EMA crosses, you would lose so much profit waiting for it to come back and touch a 200 EMA. Versus like for me on the 15, it hugs it enough where it gives me room, but obviously I'm an ICT trader, so I'm going to sell at a liquidity point. I'm not going to sell at an EMA touch, but at least you get a nice run before it touches. You know, you get a nice run before you touch. And then the 9 is going to hug it so much that any little pullback like this is going to cross underneath, which I don't like. Any pullback like this is going to cross underneath. Can you show an example of a breaker block? Yes. So a breaker block is when, if you're in an uptrend or a downtrend, you break the swing high above it. Before. So a breaker block is, I do mine on the body, but you can do yours on the wick. So this is your breaker block, and it came back into it. It's the candle. Luckily, both of these candles are the same size, but it's the candle before the swing high. So basically, it's, where is the path? I need to put the path on, is path not on here, or is it one of these? Is it a square? Yes, path. Okay, so basically a breaker block is like, if you're in an uptrend, once you break above the swing high, that's your breaker block. Same on the downside, you know? So you want it to come back down into your breaker block, boom. And then same thing on the downside, if that makes sense. So one thing I've learned too, so actually let's talk about this, because a lot of people have been talking about optimal trade entry. I made 5K last week on NQ for Apex, lost one on Friday though. Good for you. You funded? Yes, I am funded. I am funded with Top Step. Good for you. What am I gonna say? So change in the state delivery versus market structure shift. So we're clearly in an uptrend. We don't have a market structure shift until we close below the swing low. And for optimal trade entry, I trade the candle close below the line. I don't wait for it to come back into a fair value gap because sometimes it just runs without you, like this. It never came back to this breaker to tap you in. It ran without you. So I got in the trade here and took it up. Because lately, especially if you trade higher time frames like I do, it's not going to always tap you in. On the 1 minute and the 3 minute, it should 90% of the time tap you back into your fair value gap or your breaker. But for me, I'd rather not miss out on the trade. Now, changing the state delivery is for the breaker block. So it's the body of the candle, the candle before the direction. So on this one, it's the bearish candle before we ran up. So that's your change in the state delivery. So once you candle close below that, so it gives you a little more room and it will happen before your market structure shift. So now I kind of trade changing the state delivery more than market structure shifts just to buy me a few more ticks since I already don't wait for pullbacks. I do think the breaker block pullback happens more than the fair value gap pullback. And then same with like order blocks. People who trade order blocks or supply and demand zones, whatever the fuck, you're going to get a fair value. You're going to get a breaker block tap more than you're going to get a fair value gap tap. And then you're going to get a fair value gap tap way more than you're going to get an order block tap. You see the difference? Like they're just levels. Obviously, this fair value gap is above the breaker or lines up with the breaker, which is a unicorn model that a lot of people like. When you have your breaker that lines up with the fair value gap, I don't trade unicorns, but that's the optimal trade. But obviously, if you trade order blocks, you get like these really high risk to rewards, but it just won't happen all the time. And you just have to be okay with that. That is, I like to trade something that's going to show up almost every day. What, you selling courses based on SMC? No, I don't sell courses. I don't. Sorry, I'm going to start looking at the chat. Yes, that is a breaker. That's literally a breaker. This is the breaker to the upside because we're in an uptrend. That's still a breaker. And then obviously your breaker / order block for a reversal is this way, so you close below it. That's still, you can use breakers both ways. People do it all the time. There's different types of breakers. Exactly, there are different types of breakers, yes. So basically, this is a breaker for a continuation. But obviously, no one really trades those, but people do. People do trade those. People trade breaks off of something, and then it comes back, and then it continues. Like, people trade these, so acting like they're not valid is stupid. I also don't like that energy in my chat. You can leave. All strategies work for people. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it doesn't work. I don't trade breakers at all, but I'm talking about them. Now, for your breaker back to the downside, it's this shitty ass fucking hammer candle that got straight raped. You want the candle to close back below this for a market structure shift, but that's now an order block. I think a breaker block is continuing in the same direction, and then your order block is for your reversal, in my opinion. But it depends, because even like TJR, he calls every market structure shift a break of structure, just like a break of structure. He doesn't say change of character. He calls them all the same. Anytime a swing high is broken, whether it's with the trend or against the trend, he calls them both the same. You're not going to tell TJR he doesn't, like, he's wrong. Like, he could be, but that's how he reads the market. Like, technically, they're different. People use break of structures for the same trend, and they use market structure shifts for changing the trend, but he calls a break of structure everything he calls it a break of structure. He uses it for both, and he really only trains reversals, so it's really just for the market structure shift, but he calls it break of structure. That's what he calls it, and he makes millions of dollars, so it's like, you're gonna shit on him. You want to know how to buy I don't sell a course. No, I don't sell courses. I don't. I trade ICT, not really SMT. Sorry, I'm trying to read this. How long did it take you to get profitable? 3 months. So you giving free game? Always. Not always. Take the free game while it's here. I'm thinking about going on live myself. You should. How long have you been going live? I've been going live for like 50 days. What are we on, 58? We're on day 58, but I had like 3 or 4 days that weren't backtesting education. So maybe like 60 days. Going live is great. What do you like better, order block or fair value gap? I personally like, I honestly got rid of both, but fair value gaps. I'm a fair value gap queen for sure, but I don't trade them anymore. I trade inverse fair value gaps, but I don't trade fair value gap taps. But I like fair value gaps better than what you call it. Yeah, I trade free game. I don't know if I'll sell a course. I might sell like my strategy. But I also, here's my thing. I'm very transparent. I'm a real ass bitch. Number one, I'm not ICT. I'm a firm believer of he created all this shit. People who sell ICT courses are weird. Number two, people are dumb. Y'all aren't dumb. People who follow me right now, you're in this live, you want to learn how to trade, beginner traders, profitable traders, people who really support me and we support each other in this trading space, we know what we're doing. ICT is on the internet for free. I have so many videos on my strategy for free on YouTube. For the people who just want to pay me just because they don't have money, they just want to pay for shit. People just want to pay for shit. That's what my strategy course will be for $7.99. But I always tell people, I'm here if you need my help. I get it. I needed a mentor with dropshipping. I knew what I was doing, but I still wanted a mentor. And there's nothing wrong with that as well. You can book a one-on-one with me, but I always tell people, even if you booked a one-on-one with me, ask anyone who has, I tell them start with ICT 2022 mentorship. Start with all my YouTube videos. Now, if you have questions, that's what one-on-one is for. And usually I tell them after the first one, you probably don't need a second one. And they're like, you're right. And they DM me, I'll answer questions in my DM. Now, if you DM me like all day, every day, okay, like please, chill. But I will answer questions in my DM. I'm not here to be a scammer. But one-on-ones take time. So you can't call people a scammer for charging for their time. But personally, I will always send you the free route first. And I go live for free. I go live for free every day. So I traded live for free every day for like 3 months, like 3 or like a month. So it's like there's no excuse. And all my live trades are on YouTube. Like I will always tell you to go do free stuff first. But I get it how some stuff is overwhelming. So I will trade this fair value gap close before the market structure shift. This is a prime example. You see how low your market structure shift is and your change of stand delivery. Boom. Look how much better your entry is on your fair value gap, your IFVG. That's where I'm getting in at. But sometimes it's opposite. Sometimes my IFVG is down here and the market structure shift is up there. But I'll get on a market structure shift if it's higher than the FVG. But usually you'll get an IFVG before. Damn, you got it quick. 3 months, that's fire. Thank you. I don't know. Something about the charts just, it really made sense to me when ICT, I watched his mentorship and TJR's bootcamp, and it really clicked for me. Honestly, market structure shifts is what really clicked. Market structure shifts and optimal trade entry, and I was like, oh yeah, I can go on the charts. Honestly, and then I became break even for a little bit when I was trying to get funded because the futures funded rules pissed me off. Same name on YouTube, yes. Will you be mine? You're funny. Thank you. Where are you from? You don't mind me asking? I'm a military brat, so I'm from all over the place. But I claim Georgia. I went to UGA, go Dogs. Oh my God, are we losing to Alabama right now? I can't really watch us play Alabama actually, but I'm from Georgia, but I was born in Nebraska, and I moved around a lot. I went to high school in Manassas Park, Virginia, and then I went to middle school in Okinawa, Japan, and elementary school in Germany. But I claim Georgia. I'm a Georgia girl. But I live in Mexico right now. That helps. And I lived in LA for 10 years to work in film. I wanted to do a film series about how to make it in film, but I just feel like my fan base is all traders, so it's too late. But yeah, I don't really like order blocks. I like fair value gaps. I like inverted fair value gaps. And I usually now, even if, say, like this one on NQ is getting respected, I want a full candle close out of it and or under it. So you know how like that last trade we took, the one we just back tested, how we had that fair value gap, I would have waited, or whatever day that was, this day. I waited for it to push out of it. If you had your limit order set, obviously you got a very good trade. If you had your limit order set right there, it tapped you in, you're in your trade, no drawdown. But for me, I need to wait. Just in case, just to be extra careful. And that's why my win rate is very high. I'm very reactive and I wait till I'm like almost for sure. Yeah, my entry sucks. Sometimes my stop loss is very big, which also sucks emotionally, but I'd rather have a shitty entry than a fucking loss, in my opinion. But to each their own. Alrighty, this is the new day. Let's see what happens. And that's it. And yeah, there's no rush in your journey, but people don't take 5 years to learn trading anymore. One of my followers or someone who commented on one of my videos, He said he got his first payout. He got payouts, 2 payouts in 6 months of trading, which is insane. Okay, wait, I'm trying to see. I mean, that's the SMT for this reversal, or is it not? Yeah, obviously that's before we got on the chart, but if you trade at, what is this, 8 o'clock, that was your SMT. We did not take out this low on ES, and Q we did, and then it reversed with a nice little push to some liquidity point. Ah, beautiful, liquidity sweep. Now should we reverse back down? Let's see. It's looking like it. That's a nice liquidity sweep, actually. Beautiful push off that high. But it's not 10 o'clock. Whatever happens for 10 o'clock, I don't give a fuck. I get on the chart at 10 o'clock. Do you recommend minis or micros? Micros always. Because a lot of the part, trading is so emotional. Like, if y'all will set yourself up for failure if you just start trading, I mean, I like minis. They're fucking great. You can make a lot of money, but also you can lose a lot of money very fast. You can lose a lot of money on micros very fast. Once you get above like 5, you're risking a good bit of money. All right, do we have... There's a little, hopefully this is SMT to go lower, but I think they both might push higher. Both might push higher. Like, I just be calling this shit, bruh. All right, this is a shitty 10 a.m. candle, so do not trade that. Do not trade this indecisive ass 10 a.m. candle ever in your life. All right, do we get SMT now? Not at all. But I do think we do. I should have zoomed out. We did not hit this high. This blue line is this blue line on NQ. Let's see if they both reverse now. If I still think ES might follow. But I remember one day I was on the chart and I wanted to sweep this high so bad, and NQ just fucking stayed here, and ES was like this. It was opposite, and then NQ finally reversed. And it was like trading so close. And I was like, please. Boom, got it. So they both swept and it just followed. So that was a day you probably could have gotten a trade somewhere in here if you wanted it. It did come back into the breaker if you wanted it. I maybe not would have traded that. Let's see. Let's see this candle, air indecisive, this 15-minute candle here. We did tap back into this little gap. That's not the best trade though, but candle close out of it. The first one we get. Stop loss probably below this candle, and then can I get a 1 to 2? Oof. Let's see if I can get it. It's definitely okay. 1 to 2 is here. Let's see if it'll give it to me. I doubt it. Oh, gave it to me. Okay. So yeah, not the worst, not the best. Hey, Lamont, what's your biggest payout if you don't mind me asking? I haven't got one yet. That's why I don't charge for shit. I got funded a week or 2 ago, and I've been emotional since. I've been paper trading off and on and just watching the chart. No payout yet. I traded a small account with options and made like $500, and then I've been doing prop firms since and been just all over the place. But yeah, no payout yet. Do you recommend micros? That's why I don't charge or nothing. When the payouts come and then the live account payouts come, because I copy trade my live account, then I'll open my Discord. So you'll know if I make money once the Discord comes open. But yeah, decent trade. No fair value gap here, but this little pullback, you could have gotten in and took the trade for a 1 to 2. And that just is what it is. There was SMT at 8 o'clock, and that was just the run of the rest of the morning session for us, and that's fine. Or you could have traded, actually, now that I'm looking at it, this inverse fair value gap. Don't piss me off right now. We got this big ass pink candle. I mark my fair value gaps bearish and bullish. As soon as we candle close out of that, that could have been your trade. I don't think it's a 1 to 2 though, because it's a big stop loss. Yeah, the other one was actually better risk reward. You would have made more money on this one though. It's not a 1 to 2, but you'd been risking. You might have made. You like the last one, we might have risked 100 to make 200, and this one you might risk 200 to make 350. So it's less. You're risking more to make. You're making more, but you're risking more at the same time. If that makes sense. Do you say inverse value gap? Yes. Inverted, inverse. I don't even know the proper word for it, but yes, inverted, inverse value gap. This bearish one here. So actually, it's not a bad trade. I wouldn't have got in right at 10 a.m. though. Wait for a little bit, maybe on this pullback, go down to the 3-minute chart, and that's probably this or this, and then you get in for a nice little scalpiana. Next trading day. So see, if you are reactive and you just trade out fair value gaps and liquidity, you can find a trade every day. You don't have to. I personally like to. But you don't have to. All right, what do we have? They both look like they're doing the same thing, so let's just let this play out and react off something later on, because I don't see anything yet. Play. I mean, we still have 15 minutes for these candles to play out. This is a nice liquidity sweep on NQ. Also, SMT can be candles. It doesn't have to be like a full swing high, swing low, as you see here. I don't know where we want to go though. Oh, okay. There's a bunch of targets on the upside. But let's see. I'm not confident in this at all. So, just so you know. And you'll feel it in your gut. And obviously, you'll never be too late. Boom. Well, it's called it. SMT, we reverse. It happens like clockwork. It literally happens like fucking clockwork. So whatever Tiny Rhino said, he's the fucking liar. Obviously, mark your liquidity points. I always forget sometimes. But with SMT, you could have got in right at 10 o'clock and took it just to that second. This is one you didn't have to wait for. You could have took that right at 10 o'clock for a 1 to 2. Boom. There's your trade. Beautiful trade. Actually, did it come down and stop your ass out? I can't tell. Yeah. Stop loss below this candle. It almost stopped you out and didn't. That's just your PO3. This actually could be a setup on the 3-minute actually. This little swing low. Yeah, not really. But yeah, nice trade. To the tick. To the fucking tick. How long did your eval take before you passed trading micros? A long time, only because one, I don't like spending money on a bunch of funded accounts. So I just made a TikTok video and a YouTube video about it. If I'm trading bad like I am right now, I'm gonna paper trade. I'm gonna get off and I'll sit on the chart and mark up. I'm not gonna trade if I'm trading poorly. So that's why I've never blown an account. But also, yes, it could take you longer to get funded. So it took me like 5 to 6 months. But it was different because I took 2 months on a Forex funded account, almost got funded, made like 30 grand. Then all the Forex prop firms wanted to just go out of business or go on break. And I was like, I'm not dealing with them. They're scammy. Then I went to Top Step in like, it was either March or April. Then I went back to my job in May to make some money because I work in film. It was supposed to be a 2-week job. It wound up being like a 3-week big ass fucking job. So it really took me like 3 months, I'd say, but it definitely took a lot longer. The rules on the futures accounts, going from futures prop firms to funded from Forex, is way different. Like Forex prop firms, they're scammy, but the rules are so good. Like you can get one Forex 200K account and literally make like life-changing money. Versus with futures, you have to be safe because the drawdown trails you. It literally trails you. So you can never lose more than 2K on a 50K account. Even if you're up 10K, you lose 2K, your account's blown. Like what kind of fucking shit is that? So there's that. So it took me a while, but I started, so the thing with futures prop firms as well, for actually, they charge you monthly. So what you should start doing, which helped me get funded faster, you trade it regular for a week or two. Since they're gonna charge you the same amount at the end of the month, you might as well at the last week try full port, like over leverage. So I was doing like 5 micros, which is a good amount. It's over leveraging, but it's not enough where you can lose like 6 to 7 trades before it's blown. Whereas like if you use 1 mini, 4 trades, your shit is blown. You know what I'm saying? So do with that what you will. How do you recognize full liquidity? That's my dilemma. What do you mean by full liquidity, Lamont? What are you trading and the code? Top Step. I don't have a code yet. I need to get one. I need to get affiliate codes. Do you like trading futures? I do. I do miss options a little bit, but I like it better than Forex for sure. Forex fucking sucks. What are your thoughts on futures? I think the futures charts are the best, easiest to read, and they respect price action the best. Number 1. Futures has tax benefits. 60% is charged as capital gains, and 40% is charged as something else. I forgot. What would I say? And then with the plus about Forex and futures, unlike options, you can trade at night. You can trade early. I used to trade at 8:30 for a second so I could catch this kind of stuff. And then I stopped and went back to 9:30 and 10. But you could trade at 8:30. You can trade, if you have a job, you can trade Asian. You can trade London overnight. You can't do that with options. Options are stocks, so they're only open 9:30 to 4 every day. That's why options. But the best part about options is funny because everyone's like futures are better. Yes. But we're all humans. We're all emotional people. Sucks to say. And I know people like to act like they're not, especially men and shit. We're all emotional. So with options, it's the best because you only can lose what you pay for your contract with options. So I could buy a $10 contract, so you don't even need a stop loss. The most you can lose is the $10 you pay in options. Like that shit is so good. So the options I just traded better and more confidently because I didn't have these with Forex and futures you need a stop loss. Without a stop loss you can infinitely lose as much as you infinitely win a gain. Versus with options you can only lose what you pay for, but you can make as much as you want. That is why options is just so much better. You can turn $100 into like $1,000 easily in like one trade with options. Again, time decay though sucks. You have to catch really big runs. You can't, anything sideways like this, you're losing money, which is the shitty part about options. Versus with futures, if I got in my trade down here, I'm still up in this. But with time decay with options, anything sideways starts to eat at your money. So that's the shitty part about options. And then Lamont, liquidity recognition. Liquidity is the easiest thing. It's just swing lows and swing highs. That's it. All these dots or points, whatever you want to call them, corners, these are liquidity points. That's it. That's all liquidity is. Obviously, the equal lows are stronger, and then the session lows and highs are stronger. That's why my session indicator is on. But other than that, all these points are liquidity, even the small ones. And that's why I say for take profits, like say we got a reversal trade. You could target this New York low, but you can also target any one of these liquidity points in here. That's all. Liquidity is the easiest thing. Liquidity and fair value gaps. And that's why my whole strategy is based off of it. Because you don't need anything else. Where are we targeting? These are liquidity points. Where are they? Just scroll back. Where's the next swing high that was made? Because we're obviously in an uptrend. We already took out all this liquidity here. We're already past it. So now you got to scroll back. And you just got to go back. And then where's our next swing high? Look at these equal highs. A prominent swing high. Equal highs and a London high. Boom. The next one. Actually, this one should have been up here. And then the next one. And there's you can target each one of these 3 if you want, if you're scarier. I do that. If I don't feel like we're going to move this big ass move, this is my next target. This is my next one. I'll mark all 3 or 4 and then pick one in the middle to take profit at. Then the next one. And then the next one. That's it. That's it. That's just swing highs and swing lows. And it doesn't have to be a session high. It doesn't have to be a daily high. Even though the other one I had actually wound up getting swept perfectly to the tick. So I guess I marked that one perfectly, whatever it was. Do you want to swing trade one day? I don't think I have the patience to swing trade. I wish. I would love to swing trade, but I don't think I have the patience for it. Because I just feel like, let's see, could we swing trade? Let's see. I don't know. I would love to. I think, honestly, since I'm impatient, I'd honestly go to scalping before I go to a swing trading. I think I'd be a scalper before I'd be a swing trader. What is backtesting? Backtesting is what we're doing right now. You get an app called FX Replay or other apps for stocks. I don't know if there are any. And you replay random times of random years and practice catching moves. That's all it is. Like, we don't know, like, guess right now, up or down. You don't know. Set a trade and then watch it play out and say, oh shit, I was wrong, or oh shit, I was right. That's all backtesting is. But yeah, I just feel like with swing trading, I just have no fucking idea. Like, I don't even know. I mean, this is a fair value gap here. Stop loss could be this low. If it's this low, already stopped out. Be pissed. So if I had an order set at this fair value gap, stop loss below this swing low. How many? That's what? That's still not enough of a swing trade. Maybe the 4-hour chart. That's like 1 day. That's 1 day. And that's like overnight. That's not a swing trade. Let's go higher. I don't know. I just feel like I don't have the patience to swing trade, but people like it. Because it's like you just set and forget. Like, I mean, this would be a good swing trade. I'm trying to see if we have an IFEG. Okay, we have one here. It's not even. We don't even have one there. We don't have shit. Okay, so this is not... It's just not the best. I mean, we do have a market structure shift here, but like Friday to Monday, hold it to this liquidity point, hold it for 2 days. It's not terrible, but there's no way for me to set an order at a fair value gap, in my opinion. Like, they didn't really tap into anything. Like, it hasn't. I mean, it tapped into this one. But it's just, for me, I don't like setting and forgetting on a higher time frame because it just moves different. It moves the same, but it moves a little different. So I don't know if I can swing trade, but people do, and people like it. They love their freedom. They love the money you can make. You can make so much money because these moves, like, obviously when we trade, this is like our $400 move, but this is what, like a $2,000 move or whatever with the same amount position size, but. Like, we have an inverted value gap here, but on the higher time frames, it will close above and still, go down. So I wouldn't interrupt that. But for me to swing trade, I need to be able to set an order, like a target, it tap it in, and then it executes on its own. Like, I set a bracket. I can't be analyzing swing trades, I think. But who knows? I feel like I said, I think I'd be a scalper more so than a swing trader. Risking a bunch of money and taking it for like 20 ticks and then making a bunch of money in like 2 minutes. That would be more my style, I feel like. Shall we do one more? We just did that one. It ran up, 10 o'clock, boom, beautiful. Let's do one more. But yeah, it's just, I don't know though. We'll see. Scalping is risky, but good pay. Exactly. It just all depends on your patience level. I've never been able to hold anything. Even that's how I got into trading. My friend was like, I would buy stocks, and as soon as it went in profit, I would sell it, and then get back in when the stocks went down. Like, that was just me naturally not knowing anything about trading. That's just what I did. So for me, I got into trading naturally. For me to long-term invest, I use like highly aggressive index funds and stuff like that. And like robo investors and stuff. But just buying stocks myself, I mean, I do have a nice stock portfolio, but I still like sell them and get back in. I do just this. Like, we're down somewhere, I'm getting back in. We're up a little bit, I'm selling. Is this the same place? This looks extremely different. Actually, 4-hour chart, that's why. I'm like, what is happening? There we go. There we go. don't know what it's looking like. We want to go to these previous day lows. However, it's giving wait and see. That's what it's giving. Mark out 10 o'clock or whatever, 9:30, whatever you like to trade. If you're not sure, just let it play out. Something will show up. It's either giving maybe at 10, get in, take it to this low. If it doesn't run down before 10 o'clock, if it does, maybe we'll get a liquidity sweep reversal back to the upside, or maybe we'll just continue running down. Who knows? Sorry, let's zoom in. I mean, that is SMT. NQ took out this high, confirming that we're going lower. ES did not. I mean, this candle's supposed to play out, but boom. See? SMT every time. Well, I don't know. So yeah, 10 o'clock, you would have gotten sales for this. SMT. SMT reversals just go fucking dumb. So there's your trade. There's literally your trade. There's literally your trade. What do you think about trend line trading? I actually like, but if I had to go back to retail, or not retail, we're all retail, but you know what I mean. Before ICT, trend lines and EMAs were my favorite. I do like trend lines a lot, and especially for scalping. Like, it's like you just draw like a little. I mean, that's not that great. Boom, that's your scalp. Boom, and then you do the same thing again. You just move it over. Boom, that's your scalp. In this one, you would have held it all the way down, but I don't mind trend lines. It's just hard when it's like drops like this, because you're not getting a trend line break to the upside off of this. You're literally not. You're not getting a fucking run back up. Yeah, you got a little something, but nothing crazy. But look at that SMT fucking drop. That had to be news, but NQ came up to kind of high. ES did not. That is clear reversal signs. It never fails. It fails maybe like at never. I've never seen an SMT fail. I've seen, maybe I'm thinking it's SMT and it's a little too early and they both run up and follow each other. That's fair. But usually once you finally get your push, you know, it's going to push and you'll know. And that's it. Like, you just trade SMT. Obviously, this happened at 9:30 for the 9:30 traders, but at least at 10 we got in. That's why I say you don't really have to get at 9:30, because 10's still going to give you all the move, because the 10 a.m. 4-hour candle is the biggest candle of the day. That's why I trade at 10 a.m. for those who don't know. You look at that 4-hour chart, look at every 10 a.m. candle, and if it's not the biggest, even if it's not the biggest, usually the 2 p.m. to 6 candle is the biggest. And you literally can, so all those CRT traders, your turtle soup will be way better if you just trade SMT versus CRT, in my opinion. Because you can trust that. Turtle soup is, you can trust turtle soup still as a liquidity sweep, but it's not, you really have to wait for that market structure shift to the downside. Versus SMT is like the reversal indicator. Like, SMT tells you when we're reversing. You literally can trade just off the SMT. You could have got in at the top of this candle if you wanted it. My heart stopped when I saw that drop. Yeah, that's a drop that's gonna pay your bills. But we had a big run up, like, it was huge, and we had this giant head and shoulders. I'm not a pattern trader, but we look like we're dropping to Narnia. Might be new, so I probably wouldn't have traded. I probably would have waited. I would have probably gone on a 3-minute chart, waited to see for the news candle to finish, and then maybe get in after. Or the 1 minute if you want it. If it's big, it's new. I mean, yeah, that's better. It's better. But that could not be news. That could just be a strong SMT. What instrument is on the left? So the left is, this is the right. The left is the S&P 500 futures. And then the right is NASDAQ futures. So you have to watch them both all the time. I used to hate it. Now I love it. I used to be like, fuck, I only want to watch one or the other. But it also shows you, again, like, say you were a scalper and you wanted these buys. You needed to know when to sell on ES, because ES didn't push. So sometimes you'll be running And NQ will sweep liquidity and ES won't, and you need to know when to sell before it reverses again. I've gotten caught in SMT trades wanting to take profit down here, but NQ we took it, ES did not, and then we reversed back up. So it helps. Thanks. Of course. I backtest every night like this, so I think we had a great session, and then we can backtest again tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, same time every day, and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm gonna do it for the rest of the year for sure. Next year, I can't promise. I mean, I probably will backtest, but it won't be every day. It'll be like either Monday through Friday or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I want to start taking weekends off though. But for now, this is what we do. But yes, that was awesome stuff. Thank you. We try every day. We get better. Backtesting every day will help you get profitable so much faster. Helps your emotions, help your confidence, and then you can try stuff. Say you heard a strategy on YouTube today that says every time it rains, get a buy. You know what you should do? Fucking backtest. Well, maybe not rains. You can't backtest that, but backtesting, like every time you see a hammer candle, buy or sell, or every time you see EMA cross, don't just go in the market and start blowing money. No, backtest it and see how much of a win rate it is and if you like it or not. And then you'd be like, actually, I fucking hate this strategy. You can do that without spending any of your money. That's why people backtest. That's why everyone should be backtesting. Obviously, $35 a month isn't super cheap, but it's not super expensive. So if you don't want to do it yourself, you can do it with me every night. But for me, like I said, I do ICT concepts. So it's just if you want to do trend lines or something. I mean, I don't mind backtesting trend lines or EMAs, but anything else that I don't know about, I can't help you. Like supply and demand or whatever, I can't help you with that. However, we can trust trend line. I think we did backtest trend lines one time, like one of the first weeks. And we did EMAs, which are nice. EMA holds so nicely. I don't really use the EMAs on here for show, but I will use it for days I'm not confident in a trade. Like if I was scared to take this sell trade, once we close below and got a full candle open below the EMA, you're like, yeah, sells. If you were just scared. But if not, obviously once we start running down, you would have gotten a trade. Because again, this is the 15-minute chart. This is sped up. You have time to get in. There's no FOMO. You could have got in here and still took it down. You know what I'm saying? There's none of that. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Have a good Saturday. If y'all are going out, turn up for me too. And yeah, see y'all tomorrow.